Welcome to 2023 A Brighter Me project brought to you by Illuma. I am Ali Waddell, the CEO and co-founder of the Illuma Ketamine Clinic here in Austin, Texas, and we are on week 8. Can you believe it? We are wrapping up this week, this 8-week journey that we've taken together to discover more about yourself and make sure that 2023 is your brightest year yet. Each week I have shared with you a building block. These are my favorite tools and exercises of the last 2 decades as a life coach, and each one of them will allow you to discover yourself on a deeper level and make sure that you are going to shine bright this year. So this week, week 8, is going to be in 2 parts. The first one is going to be a review for you to take a moment, pause, and have some gratitude for the journey you've been on so far. And then the second part is we're gonna round it out with another writing project. And I call this Let Go of the Old and Begin Anew. And so we're gonna go over that together as well. So first, let's start with the review. What I wanna start with first is just taking a brief pause and just breathing and filling ourselves with some gratitude that we even did this. No matter how imperfect it felt like it was, no matter how many things about yourself that you learned that maybe you didn't like or maybe that were scary or unknown, just realize that you have taken a big step, even though it's those tiny baby steps. They all add up. And just being conscious to even work on yourself is a huge win. Most people, the vast majority of people, never take the time or put in the effort to actually work on themselves fundamentally. And so I just want to say congratulations, and then I'm super proud, no matter, again, how messy it was or how imperfect it was, that you took the time and you've dedicated your time to work through this program with me. So let's just start there. We've done so much in the last 8 weeks. We started with the writing project, A Day in Your Dream Life, A Day in Your Dread Life, which really helped you to envision who your future self was. Then we went for the Wheel of Radiance, which was a life wheel exercise that gave you a real snapshot of where you currently are in different areas of your life, and then potentially where you could learn and grow. Then we worked on our inner bully and got them to quiet and become more kind to us. Then we went into Boundaries Abound and learned how to set boundaries so that we could stay in alignment with our highest self, with ourselves and with others. And then we moved on to the cycle of recommitment, one of my favorites, where we learn how to make sure that those potholes just turn into blips, that we know what to do when we get off track and we can get back on fast. Then we went into fear triggers so that we can learn how to respond in a healthy way instead of act and react unhealthily. And then last week, we learned about your bright light bookends, how to start and end your day in super positive ways so that you really create some momentum in your self-improvement journey. So the next section, we're gonna just answer a few review questions. And I think this is a great thing because I think it allows you to check in. Remember, when we're doing these baby steps, you might not see or feel the difference at the time. Like, you might just feel like, oh gosh, I'm just doing these little things and nothing's changing. Not until you really sit down and give yourself the space and the time to really feel like, what has changed? How am I feeling? And remember, externally, things typically take longer to change than internally. So maybe externally, your life doesn't look a whole lot different. But internally, that's where it all starts. So I got 5 review questions on the worksheet this week. Please take the time in answering those. Remember, the worksheet can be found in the description below the video, but I'm gonna read them to you right now. So the 5 questions are, Are you moving in the right direction? Remember, there is no right direction, but are you moving in a direction forward that you feel is in alignment with your highest self, with that envisioning of yourself in the Dream Life Project writing? 2, what did you learn about yourself during this process? Even if this was messy, there were some huge takeaways. There's always takeaways, especially in the messy. So remember that every single thing is an opportunity to learn a little more about yourself. So what did you learn? 3, have you developed a stronger appreciation for any aspect of yourself? Hopefully through this self-discovery process, you've seen pieces and parts of yourself that it's easy to love, or that you have real appreciation for. And what are those? Number 4, what are the qualities or habits that still need improvement? We always have areas where we are challenged. And what are those areas that you're going to continue to need to push into and learn more about? And then 5, how can you begin to expand your potential and stretch your limits? This is just the beginning. And if you are somebody that is brand new on this personal growth path, I'm telling you, things that you envisioned at yourself now in 5 years, you will just be amazed at how much those envisioning has changed. And so just really kind of sit with that and think about what has changed and what is expanding for you in this time. So take a few minutes, answer those 5 questions to yourself. And then next, we're going to go on to one of my other favorite writing projects to wrap up this whole program. So now it's on to the final exercise of the project. And this is all about letting go of the old and writing and beginning the new. We are all the authors of our lives. We're actually not only the authors, we are the actors, we are the producers. We create everything that is around us. And we have the opportunity, no matter what's happening, to tune into ourselves and realize that if our life isn't going the way we want, that we can work on changing it. That doesn't mean all of a sudden manifesting this dream life and that everything can change really rapidly. But it does mean that every day we get to choose small actions in our behaviors, how we show up, who we surround ourselves with, what we feed our brain, that will help us to move forward in a more positive way and take the time to build the life that we want. The great news is you get to do this over and over and over again. These are all just new versions of yourself. The truth is, every day is a new version of you. You are not the same person as you were yesterday. But there are times in your life where you can feel these pivot points, where maybe there was a way that you were going about life and something happened. Maybe this program, maybe ketamine therapy, maybe meeting certain people, or hitting a goal or creating a goal. But many people have these pivot points, and I do find that it's very helpful to try to shed that old version of yourself. Because listen, your old version of yourself, she doesn't want to die, or they don't want to die. It's your ego. They want to hold on. They want to keep you safe. But we have to be able to shed that old version, to kill off that version of yourself. I actually don't like the word killing off because they actually served a purpose. But to let go of that old version of yourself to become this next version of you. And so this is all about writing the obituary to your old self. And this symbolism really helps you to let it go, to put that version of you to rest, to also send it off with gratitude and thanks, to see and pull the lessons that it's given you, and to give you a clear insight of what you're really letting go of. And I found this so helpful, and I've done it a few times, and I suggest hopefully in the future you do it moving forward. But a lot of times, as these story-driven animals that need so much relatability, and we need these structures and systems, when you push in and do these things that at first might feel a little silly, they actually do help your brain and your nervous system to let go, to really have this event that you can now relax into this newer version of yourself, because that old self is gonna want to pop back up out of the grave. Sometimes it might be weekend at Bernie's and just like sitting up next to you. And you have to gently and remind yourself gently to lean over and say, listen, I appreciate everything you've done for me, but I'm not operating from your space anymore, and I can let that go. And so please take a little bit of time to just write an obituary to your old self. I've actually included the first one I ever did, which was in 2016, after I had my on my knees mid-ish life crisis, and I really needed to let go of that party girl, of the girl that was so living in FOMO, can't stop, won't stop, was running myself ragged, and was showing up in a way that I didn't realize at the time, obviously, was really operating from a place of a lot of fear and anxiety. And I really was ready to let that go. First off, I was real tired and I was just ready to feel like a more grounded, connected person. And I'm not kidding. I have basically completely let go of that version of myself. And I operate on a much deeper level now than I ever have. And I think one of the things that helped me was this writing project. So I've included mine so you'll have an example, but really have fun with it. This doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be arduous. It's just a really cool ritual to let go. Also, if you're into kind of a little more woo stuff and you'd like to really release it into the universe, you can actually print it out or write it on a piece of paper and then have a small fire and then actually burn it. And that really does release all that energy back into the universe. Whether you want to believe that or not, if it sits well with you, it's a really cool ritual and exercise to do. So that's it. That's our 8 weeks. I really hope that y'all enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I actually haven't done a lot of teaching in the last few years as I've been running and starting the clinic, but I've really enjoyed being with y'all every week. We are thinking about doing some other projects and exercises like this. So if that's something that you would be interested in, please let us know. If for any reason you caught this program midway through or this is your first video, good news. We got 7 other videos. You can go back and start at the beginning. They do best if you do them in order, but they don't have to be in order. Also, remember, if you missed a week or something didn't sit well, or if you ever want to re-examine things, this is like evergreen forever content. So you can come back anytime, share them with others that you love, either piecemeal or as a whole project together. But again, I really appreciate you taking this time for yourself, number 1, and with us, number 2. So reach out, have a great day. I really hope 2023 is a bright year for all of y'all. And I look forward to talking to you again soon. Bye, guys.